All right, it is time for Uncle Jamie's college football locks of the week. You may ask, well, who the hell is Uncle Jamie? Well, it's a good question, but I have a better answer. Uncle Jamie is my uncle, and he knows more about college football than anybody that I've ever met in my life. And he's coming off a sizzling season, 2024. He was on fire with his picks. So I'm doing this for you. You're getting these picks. Uncle Jamie's college football locks of the week, and Uncle Jamie joins us right now. Uncle Jamie.
19-1 college football playoff record. 19-1.
And that's
Go,
documented. We were doing
and
these
it's
videos
documented.
last year. It's documented.
Put that up against one of those betting sites, Joe Fortenbaugh.
Yeah. Put that in your
Yeah,
pipe
take
and
that,
smoke it.
ESPN bet.
Yeah. All right. So you have 3 picks for us, which we'll get to, but we normally start this off by talking a little college football. The big story, especially locally, Penn State fires James Franklin. They were a top 5 team. In the course of 3 weeks, a double overtime loss to Oregon, a really bad loss to USC, and then the team just looked like it was quitting on their coach against Northwestern with that home loss. What was your reaction to Franklin getting fired?
Interesting, right? So, beginning of the end of last year, they're in the college football playoff. The overtime game against Notre Dame, one of the great games. They lose. Okay, they come into this year, big hype. I'm watching the Big Ten preview show, Dave Revson, all the guys down at Happy Valley. The commentators are saying, never seen a better Penn State team. Never seen a greater offensive line. Never seen better talent players. This is the year. Drew Aller ready to come off and have
Number
a
1
Heisman
pick.
campaign.
Let's go.
Number one pick. They play the first few games. They look okay. Aller does not look good. They get into the meat of the schedule, and what happens? I mean, that Oregon game. I read somebody said it, and I think it's true. Oregon broke them. The whiteout, college game days there, and once again, Franklin 4-22 against those top 10 ranked opponents, and they came up small, and it just literally broke them. Then you go out to UCLA, they're sleeping through the entire first half. They make a comeback, can't get it, and then actually get dominated on the defensive and offensive line against Northwestern. Literally dominated by Northwestern. You look at that, Pat Kraft is looking at that as the athletic director and just absolutely saying, I'm not going to have all season long people telling me to fire James Franklin, when I'm not going to bring him back next year. Let's be done with it now. Cut James Franklin. So after 11 and a half seasons, James Franklin's out the door with a $49 million buyout.
Yeah, which, by the way, if he takes another job, which these college coaches he'll take another job. He may sit out a year and do TV if he doesn't like one of the opportunities.
Yeah.
So really, Penn State's going to end up paying a minimal amount of money because it'll cancel out with whatever job he gets. Because, I mean, honestly, there'll be a big university interested in bringing him in because he will bring stability and professionalism to a big program. It just, like, I thought it was crazy because 3 weeks before, like I said, they were a top 5 team, and they were literally they lost by a last second field goal in the college semifinals last year.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I was a Penn State fan, I would have been screaming for him to be fired for years. And so now he's gone. The question is, where do they go next? And all indications are they're interested in Matt Rhule, and Matt Rhule gave an answer, the same answer he gave at Temple, the same answer he gave at Baylor. Are you going to leave? Are you interested in leaving? And he gave the same answer, which is, oh, well, I love it here and blah, 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 blah. But he never actually says, I'm staying here and I'm not leaving. Do you believe Matt Rhule is the next head coach of Penn State?
I think it's a distinct possibility. I'll say this, when I was 20 years old, Nebraska was a big college program, right? Nebraska, Oklahoma dominated for years and years. I'm sorry to say it. The Nebraska fans, they're not a big college program anymore. They're not dominant anymore. They don't get the big recruiting classes. They've been passed over now for many, not since Tom Osborne has Nebraska really been relevant. So going from Nebraska to Penn State obviously is a big jump. Matt Rhule's a Penn State guy. All roads lead to Matt Rhule. Or is Urban Meyer a possibility? I think Urban Meyer would take the job in a second. But what's Urban Meyer? Is he's a 3 to 5 year coach? At his stage of his career. I don't think that's realistic, So do you go to a coach that, people aren't talking about? The coach at Oregon State they talked about. So, there's different possibilities. I think Penn State Pat Kraft goes with a Penn State guy. Matt Rule going to Happy Valley seems to be the way it's going to go.
Yeah, and I think it's a crappy move for Matt Rule to leave again for a better
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah.
I would see it through, but it's a better job. Penn State isn't a tier 1 job. It's a tier 2 job, but it's very good. Nebraska is a tier 3. You're absolutely right. And Penn State's the better job. He's an alum. I'm sure he'd like to get back to the East Coast as much as they've embraced Nebraska. So I agree with you, and I think Rule takes it as well.
Yeah.
Other than that, I know a lot of people were saying they don't fire Franklin unless they had a clear cut. This is going to be the guy. Maybe that's Matt Rule. I mean, I know Pat Kraft the athletic director of Penn State has a relationship with Matt Rule.
Yeah.
So do you make that move? Here's why you make the move in season. So James Franklin can't win out, and then you can't fire him.
Yeah.
If you know that you're going to get rid of him, don't let him get a chance to win out to where now you feel like you can't fire him. So they fired him. He's gone now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, things at Penn State in Pat Kraft's tenure has really accelerated in that I think the number is 37 national championships in a total sports spectrum at Penn State since he's taken over. The most dominant wrestling program since Iowa, since I was a kid in the 1980s. Penn State volleyball, the hockey team. Just you go on, and the men's soccer team. They can't figure out men's basketball for whatever reason.
No,
but never have. But you just the legacy of winning up there is and the amount of money that program generates, the athletic program generates. Pat Kraft is the haymaker up there. And I just think a guy that he would trust with the program is a guy that he knows and would bring back in. So I think, as I said, all roads lead to Rule.
And Signetti, he just signed we're taping this on Thursday night. He just signed an extension with Indiana. He wasn't going to come here anyway. He's 65 years old. That doesn't make sense for Penn State. And he used Penn State to get a big contract.
Well, I'll tell you,
Indiana too.
He should be on the phone. He should be on the phone to James Franklin saying, "Thanks, man, for getting fired. You just made me $100 million." I mean, are you talking? I mean, talk about Indiana. For 100 years being a basketball school, and now the last 2 years he's made him significant. We'll see. The Indiana got into the playoffs. They came up small in their game. A lot of Alabama people said they should have never been in. We'll see this year. It looks like they're trending to be back in the playoffs. We'll see if they can play with the big boys.
They sure are. All right, we'll get to our picks here, but Uncle Jamie is presented by Central City Toyota, where he is the general manager. He's the do-it-all guy at Central City Toyota. He'll sell you a car if you go down there and you say, "Where's Uncle Jamie?" He'll take you around the lot. CentralCityToyota.com. What's going on down there these days, Jamie?
So this month, October, is our buy 3, get 1 tire extravaganza in our service department. We also just got a whole new blush of 25s, 25 Toyotas that are hard to get. Siennas, Highlander hybrids, Grand Highlanders. So some really good inventory that right now you can't find out there in the world of Toyota. So really check us out. Check us out on the website. We got some great things going on.
New and pre-owned right on the website there, their entire inventory. All right, let's get to the games. People are saying, quit yapping about Penn State. I don't give a damn. I want to make some money. We're going to start out in South Bend. I remember every year I would look forward to this game.
Me too.
Notre Dame, USC. Notre Dame's good. USC, not so much these days with Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, so they USC last year 7-6 season. The year before that 6-7. This year 5-1. Jordan Maeva, the new hotshot quarterback, has been playing really well. Historically, USC's defense is horrible. The defense has been pretty decent this year. But you're going into South Bend. Notre Dame lost their first 2 games. Obviously, Texas A&M and Miami, both heartbreakers. Jeremiah Love, Faison, their new hotshot quarterback, CJ Carr. You're giving 9.5 to USC, but I see a 14 to 17 point Notre Dame victory here. I just think too many variables point towards Notre Dame's skill players being much better than USC's defensive players.
All right. Notre Dame minus 9.5 over USC. That is lock number one. Lock number two, we're going to go to Athens, Georgia.
Oh.
Ole Miss. How about this one here? What do you got?
So, we didn't talk about Ole Miss, but, there's some dark horses saying maybe Lane Kiffin comes to Happy Valley. Watch that. You never know. Lane Kiffin might hop for a big job like that. Is that a step up going from Ole Miss to Penn State?
I think it is.
I think it is, right? Me too. I think the Big Ten is certainly commensurate with the SEC right now. So going from Ole Miss to Penn State could be. For the first year, he's 6-0. He's beat Lane Kiffin's won the last 3 games against ranked opponents. He actually probably had a better team last year. 9 starters last year were NFL draft picks.
Wow.
And NFL draft picks that are playing on NFL teams. However, Georgia had 12 NFL draft picks last year and 12 NFL players. So great programs. Kirby Smart, Kiffin were in 2016 were on Nick Saban's staff, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, know each other really well. Last year, absolutely, Lane Kiffin, they beat Georgia 28-10 in Oxford. This game's at Georgia. Georgia has this year. You look at the team; they're an enigma. They start out horribly slow. They have a running quarterback, mostly running. He's gotten better. Gunnar Stockton getting the ball down the field. Some really good skill receivers, but they start out terribly. And then as the second half adjustments happen, Kirby Smart dials it up, shuts them down. They're only averaging 10 points against that defense in the second half, and they've pulled out these games. They're 5-1. So I see a redemption game for Georgia. They're 7.5 at home. I think that's a very big line, but I'm going to take Georgia and give the points.
All right. Georgia minus 7.5 over Ole Miss. All right. Finally, lock number 3. We're going LSU. Hold on. LSU, they're underdogs at Vandy? What? This is a crazy line.
So, the second game of the season, people are saying LSU is number one ranked team, right? Just number one. Garrett Nussmeier, father, Doug Nussmeier, right? NFL quarterback coach. This kid's going to be a number 1 type pick. Offenses look horrendous. Nussmeier's thrown 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Very good skilled receivers, as LSU always has. Going into Vandy. Now, let me frame this for everyone. LSU, Joe Burrow, undefeated, Brian Kelly, going to Vandy as an underdog, 2.5-point underdog. People, LSU will win this game. No way in hell Vandy wins this game as a favorite, 2.5 points. 12 o'clock game in Tennessee. LSU comes in and romps. 9 to 10 point victory. Book that one.
I love the 12 o'clock, the good 12 o'clock game too.
Me too.
You don't have to wait for it. It's gonna be good. I'm on the Bet Parks app. I'm trying to see what the money line is right there. If you're that confident, you can make even more value on the money line. I mean, it's nice to have the 2.5, but could be a good one right there. Let me see. I'm scrolling down right here. It's actually up to 3 on the Bet Parks app.
Wow. Shocking. I was looking prior to the call, and 67% of the money is on Vandy. What are they watching?
Well,
what are they watching? Watch Vandy against Alabama. If you need to know what Vandy is, Dominic Pavea from last year is getting a lot of press from what he did last year to this year. He's a good quarterback. He's gritty, but I'm telling you, they watch them against Alabama, who has commensurate talent. I think Alabama, quite honestly, Alabama might be the best team in the country in regards to the talent they have on that team. Absolutely stupendous. That quarterback is playing out of his mind. But they handled Vandy without much of a problem, without much of an issue. And I see LSU on a talent level commensurate with Alabama. I see the same result.
Plus 112 on the money line. I would just take the 3 points. I go to the Bet Parks app right now and take the 3 points in case
100%.
1 or a 2 point game. I do. It's editorial note. Uncle Jamie is an LSU fan, so I feel like sometimes he's betting with his LSU fandom. We'll see. That's a Vandy line, man.
That is a Vandy line. I can't tell you how much I love LSU in this game. Can't tell you how much I love it.
All right, there are your 3 locks. Notre Dame minus 9.5, Georgia minus 7.5, and LSU plus 3. They are Uncle Jamie's college football locks of the week. Thank you, Uncle Jamie. We will see you next week, and good luck.
Indeed. All right. Good luck. Talk to you.
See ya.